Welcome to my November 30th creating photos and videos. This is really a spur of the moment kind of video. This is Thursday night. It's about almost 11 o'clock at night. I've turned off the fluorescent lights because they cause a flicker in my downstairs basement. But I want to share with you the progress I've made already in getting this place cleaned up. I'm obviously very excited. So what I plan to do is kind of walk around and show you some of the changes I've made, some of the things that are the same, and talk to you a little bit about Cinamaker and how that works, because I'm using Cinamaker to record this because it's perfect for this, because I have 3 cameras running, so different parts of the basement, and I'm using my Purple Panda lav mic with a cord, and I think it's going to be long enough. So first of all, do a little side note about how Cinamaker works and how I'm using it in this situation. Cinamaker is a filmmaking production software that has an app for an iPad called Director Pad and an app for iPhones, or like I'm using an iPad Mini 3, that is called Capture. And so on my iPad Pro over here, I have the Director Pad running, and right now I'm looking at my 10S, into which I have the lav mic plugged, and then over here I have a 6S Plus, and it's focusing on this area of the downstairs, and then right here I have my iPad Mini 3, and it's focused on the area that I've created as a little set, which is what initiated this video tonight. And I wanted to show you how I had established that. What this means is the iPad Pro, could be just a regular iPad, so the iPad is running Director Pad, and that's like Command Central. It's like a TV control room in the old days, or a TV control room in modern days. And it's getting feeds from that camera, and that camera, all mobile devices, iOS mobile devices. And those feeds are being saved to what Cinamaker calls a project. So when I'm finished and I stop everything, the footage from these 3 cameras is going to be on my iPad. So typically what you can do, and what I did in the last video that I published, is you can control from the iPad which camera is actually focused on the person who's speaking. And you perhaps saw me, there were some occasions when I clip a lot of that out, but there were some occasions where you saw me reaching to the iPad and it changed the video that was being created by Cinamaker. But obviously I'm going to walk around, so I can't be going here and changing cameras, so I'm just letting the iPhone 6 pick up my audio, and as I move around to these different areas, I can change that later, and that's the beauty. So Director Pad, Cinamaker will support up to 4 camera inputs. I've only got 3, but I could have a 4th iOS device, or I could have a regular camera, so one of my OMDs or something else that takes an HDMI input, and I had to have a converter box and so on. So I don't have that, but I could have a regular camera being the 4th camera, or being all 4 of the cameras if I wanted to. So what is going to happen is, after I'm finished with this, I'll go to the Cinamaker project file in which all of the footage from all 3 cameras has been saved, and I can do what's called a live edit. And basically, after the fact, I can change the cameras. So as I'm telling you what this camera is seeing, and even though I'm right now in the initial recording, it's getting me through my 10S, I can switch the camera so that you're seeing what the 6S Plus is viewing. Okay, now I also want to comment, I don't work for Cinamaker. I'm not getting paid to tell you about how it works or how great it is or whatever. And I'm just interested because I used to work in K-12 education. I worked in a university working with faculty in education schools. And I'm interested in seeing how this might be used in an educational environment. And other environments as well, but specifically that, because that's my background. So I'm sharing this with you because I'm impressed. Now, actually, I'm blown away. because this is amazing. I mean, just think about it. We've got three mobile devices acting as cameras and one mobile device, an iPad, a tablet, that is acting as a control room. That, in the old days, and even today, requires a studio, a TV studio with cameras that are connected to a control room. We're talking thousands and thousands of dollars. Now, these are not cheap, these mobile devices. They're not cheap, but they're way a lot cheaper than the equipment that you need to establish a studio in which you can produce, live TV shows or even recorded shows that are going to be broadcast later. So I am amazed that Cinamaker has put together this. And Cinamaker is not the only company that's done this. There are others. There's Switcher. There are several others. But this is the one that I found to be the easiest to use and the easiest to set up. Part of their purpose is to allow you to do live streaming. That's becoming very popular on YouTube, on Facebook. It's just becoming very popular. Events are being live streamed. And so why can't you and I do that? Well, we can with apps like this. And going back to my being blown away by this, before I retired, I worked for over 50 years in K-12 education and university, working with faculty in trying to get faculty to learn how to use technology or to use technology to improve and enhance their delivery of instruction. I was paid to play. We like to say work, but I was really playing with new technologies that were coming out. And then I would teach people within the school system, within the university, within the department, how to use those technologies. After many years of doing that, I kind of got a grip on what's going to really make a change. And I could get a feel for, this is going to change the way we do things. And I can say that about Cinamaker and the other apps that are like Cinamaker. It is going to change the way we, or you, are able to do things. The little guy can create 3, 4 camera productions, and it's not that expensive. So that's pretty amazing. It's a piece of software to watch for. Okay, back to our regularly scheduled broadcast. What I'm doing this particular episode for is to show you how I've changed things in my studio. And first of all, right now, we're looking at the view you're seeing right now. I haven't changed this much at all. That's my desk. I've got these storage shelves that I've built, and that's the way it's been since I came down here and set this up. So that's not changed. But another thing that I've done is I have this table that I used to have over there, moved it over here, and I've become interested in scanning of photos. Now, you can do it with a scanner, and I have a scanner here, and I do that. I have used that for scanning photos. But I just recently got this KF Concept tripod, which has a unique feature of a stem that comes out, an internal stem that comes out of the main stem, and the main stem can be turned around so that it's pointing down, really. And it lets you put your camera in almost like a copy stand orientation. And that's indeed what I plan to use it for, to put old photographs that we have of our family underneath this and make digital copies of it. Something it's on my radar to work on all the, part of the thing of cleaning this basement up is I've uncovered all these photos that we've had and collected over the years. So that is what this area is for. So I have the white background, so I can still do classes down here, and that's what the original purpose of this particular area was to allow me to teach people how to use Flash. And I have a white background, and over here I have a black background, so I can use either one of those backgrounds, but in between them now I was able to place, it just worked out that this table fit here. So now, the next area is this area right here, which is the one I'm really most excited about, and that is this new set that I've created. So I've put this bookcase here and kind of created an area that I can have set up. And you'll notice I have a bunch of black and white pictures that I've just put in frames actually tonight, and I'm going to hang those in the wall because I don't want to paint the wall. I'm just going to cover up these splotches on the wall with these pictures, and I think hopefully it'll give a good effect. And hopefully it looks kind of like a little living room or a sitting room, and I'm talking to you. So I can have this set up. I've got a place here where I could actually have a boom microphone coming down, or I can use, as I'm using now and probably will use, my lav mic. I've got a soft box with a light in it, so it lights it, and I've got another light up here, which I forgot to turn on, an LED light, fills in this side of my face. So this can always be ready. So all I have to do is sit down, turn my cameras on, and I'm ready to record. I'll move this camera over so that we can see the set and the area beyond it. And you'll see now that, I still have a lot of, as you see, I still have a lot of boxes to go through, but this shelf creates kind of a border. But then back here you see the bench that I recorded my last episode on. It also serves as kind of an ante-room. So I'm really very excited about the changes I've been able to make. And now also I'm going to move this camera again. So here we go. So this is, as you come down the stairs into our basement, and I've opened it up. The bench used to be right here. I've opened it up so that access right into the main studio. I also added, as a result of last week's video, Art Johnson, I think was a gentleman, who commented on my audio. Now, part of the audio problem, I think, was a Cinamaker problem, although I can't recreate it. But when I did some editing, I got an echo. And Art kind of felt that maybe it was because of the downstairs and I was getting a little reverb from that, from bouncing. But it really is, I don't think that's the case, because I've recorded down here before and that didn't happen. But I also have usually recorded over in this area here. And you see I have this rubberized jigsaw kind of puzzle padding on the floor. So I just got today 6 new panels, and I put those down so where I will sit when I'm typically doing an episode of creating photos and videos, I will be on top of these pads, and that may soften a little bit the sound and avoid any echo. Okay, a really, as I said, impromptu kind of video. But I hope that if you follow me at all and you've kind of followed my journey of getting this space down here really usable, and you're thinking of maybe doing the same thing in your house or finding a place where you can do this, then hopefully you have enjoyed it. Thank you very much for checking in, and I'll see you in my regularly scheduled creating photos and videos next Tuesday. Goodbye.